It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to a special edition of Travel and Cruise Industry News, coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts. Quite frankly, folks, it's been a little testy for me for the last 36 hours. No real problems on the train yesterday. It did a pretty good job of wearing me out, I'll tell you that. Hot Air met me at the train station. I was going to load up a clip he did. I didn't have time to do any of that. As a matter of fact, that reminds me, I didn't do several things this morning that I needed to do before we can get the show done. Here, I thought I had a minute and a half to spare, and I didn't do some stuff. So anyway, so we're in Boston. I had all kinds of technical issues this morning with my computer. No idea why or how those issues happened, other than it just, everything went completely dead overnight. I did not have my computer plugged in while I was using it on the train yesterday because I got kind of taken off of what I was doing before I got it caught up. So that just didn't work out, and as a result, the battery was completely zapped. I don't know for sure if that's what caused it this morning, but I couldn't get anything going, anything loaded for what seemed like hours. Finally, we got going, and I was able to get the show basically set up. I wanted to do a makeup show from yesterday. So here it is, coming to you from Boston. Not feeling my best yet, I'll tell you that. I'm feeling a little scratchiness in my voice, although I'm not coughing, so that's good. But anyway, we're going to see what's going to happen. As far as Tom and I are concerned, our tour for tomorrow has already been canceled because of the weather here. There's massive waves coming into Massachusetts and rough seas. It's kind of rainy and yucky. We're supposed to go on a dinner cruise tonight, which means we've got a little bit of traveling to do to get to the ship, the boat itself that we're going to be on. And we're just going to have to play this weather business by ear. So hopefully he and I will be going on a nice a dinner cruise around Boston Harbor. So, but we'll see. In the meantime, let's try to somewhat get caught up with things from the world of travel and cruise industry news. So officially, this is my welcome to Saturday's Travel and Cruise Industry News podcast. And it's the 21st day of September, 2024, live from Boston, brought to you by Will, U.S., owner of Scooter Round and Chillie Cruises. The headlines today, the major story this morning is massive container fire at PortMiami. Also this morning, we're going to talk about Venezia Delayed, Steamy Couple During Christening, confusion for Anthem of the Seas, Princess raises water prices, Embarkation Change for NCL Spirit, a milestone for treasure, pregnant mom and husband drown while snorkeling, and lots more live here this morning at 11 o'clock. I have no idea what today is. I think it was National Pecan Cookie Day. So we'll call it that anyway. So have a pecan cookie. If you're watching via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. And I try to do this wherever I am in the world. Like today, I'm in Boston. Matter of fact, we're going to be in Boston for several days. 10 or so, 9 or I don't know how many days. We're going to be in Boston a while. And we're going to spend a couple of days in New York City before we head back home on the 30th. So we're going to be on the road until then. So to get started today, I tell you what, let's get started. Let's take a quick break from one of our network sponsors, and keep in mind that I don't have everything set up right. So we'll see how this goes this morning. You know, I'm going to screw something up if I can. All right, quick break from one of our network sponsors. And the lead story this morning, folks, is from down in Miami. Approximately 5:45 p.m. local time on the evening of September 20th, that would be yesterday, a container within the port of Miami burst into flames for unknown reasons. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Cell phone videos of the blaze, many of which were captured by guests on board Allure of the Seas as she was embarking from the port, show black smoke and a container fully engulfed in flames. Thankfully, first responders arrived on the scene quickly and were able to put the fire out. Cruise operations were not impacted, including MSC Magnifica and Carnival Conquest, which were also in port, and no one apparently was hurt. The busy port, which is located on Dodge Island in Biscayne Bay, will likely still have some damage to address. However, it appears the docks and cruise terminals were not touched by the flames or smoke, even if things did get a bit close for comfort. The next story this morning, folks, comes from Anthem of the Seas. If I can find it, there it is. I don't have these in the right order, so I got to go looking for them every time I change stories. The next story today is on Anthem of the Seas. Anthem of the Seas is scheduled to depart from Southampton today, but guests received an update that the ship will be docked at the Horizon Cruise Terminal berth, which is berth 102 there in Southampton. Originally, the ship was scheduled to dock at the City Cruise Terminal, which is berth 101, and while the two are adjacent to one another at the cruise port, the two terminals are served by different buildings and security facilities. So if somebody goes to the wrong building, they're not going to get on the right ship. A little confusing. Yesterday was to be a busy day in Southampton with 4 ships in port. Fred Olsen, Borealis, P&O Cruises, Britannia, and Silver Seas, Silver Spirit are also docked. So a little confusion for Anthem. Hopefully it goes well and they get to see as expected. All right, so Princess pulled a stunner. I'm talking about Princess Cruises, of course. They very quietly significantly increased the price of bottled water with no announcement, catching passengers on upcoming voyages off guard. Passengers who pre-purchased water as recently as September the 17th paid $7 per case. However, those attempting to purchase water on the 18th had reported a cost of $24 for a case. From $7 to $24. That's outrageous, Princess. Holy cow. That's on both domestic and international sailings. Yeah, that's not a good move, Princess. All right, so normally this would be pre-recorded. However, it's not. So this is, of course, Scoot Around. 15% off on all Vegas rentals, whether it's a scooter or a wheelchair, like I use, the Will Model C2 or one of the other models from Will. It's valid until October 31st. So you can get a scooter in Vegas for as little as like $20 a day. So just call them, folks. The number's always listed here. and tell them SRN 11137. I make a couple dollars when you call them. That's Scoot Around and Will Power Chairs with a 15% off Vegas rental from now until October 31st. And I promise you, folks, the next show, this will be recorded like it's supposed to be with all the bells and whistles. All right, getting back to the news. Let's see. What was the next thing? Oh, yeah, the Norwegian Spirit is the next story this morning. And Norwegian Spirit. Why are you not showing? Would that be the Norwegian Spirit? That's the Norwegian Spirit. See there? I found the picture. Guests sailing on the Spirit in late November and early December will need to find a way home from China instead of the Philippines, as Norwegian announced a little bit of a shift in disembarkation port. Well, I guess the change affects passengers on the November 26th sailing of this year. Departing from Tokyo, Japan, the 14-night cruise was scheduled to visit Shimizu, Mount Fuji, Shinsu, Osaka, Wakayama, and Naha in Japan, as well as Keelung and Kaohsiung in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Botswana Island and Boracay in the Philippines before arriving in Manila on December the 10th. While the voyage will depart and visit its first 5 ports as scheduled, the remaining 5 calls and the disembarkation port have been adjusted. The ship's December 4th call in Kaohsiung will now be extended from 3:30 to 6 p.m. The following day, originally meant to be an overnight call in Hong Kong, extending until 6 p.m. on December the 6th, will now be a sea day that is followed by a call in Boracay from 8 to 6. So, folks, you got to get home from China now instead of the Philippines. That might throw your little plane plans in a tizzy. All right, so Disney Treasure reached a milestone this weekend. Its newest ship is making its way to the open ocean to start its sea trials. Now, we've talked about this before when ships have come out of Meyer Werft in Papenburg. They go through 10 kinds of hell to get to the open water. From there, a tugboat guided the vessel along the Ems River on its way to Eemshaven in the Netherlands. Once it arrives, it will head into the North Sea to start sea trials. They do this with the ship going backwards. I don't understand. But anyway, Treasure is on her way to sea trials. So that's a good thing. All right. The next story today, folks, deals with the Carnival Venezia. That would be the Carnival Venezia. The latest sailing to be impacted by last-minute changes is Carnival Venezia's upcoming 6-night cruise to Kings Wharf, Bermuda, which is due to embark from Manhattan on Saturday, September 21st. That would be today. It's supposed to sail today. However, only the embarkation process will be delayed. The family-friendly cruise line has asked guests to arrive at the port an hour later than planned for undisclosed reasons. So show up an hour late. We don't know if we're going to sail on time or late, and we're not going to tell you why. Don't you love the way these cruise lines do things? Anyway, hopefully Venezia will end up doing the right thing and sail on to Bermuda for unknown reasons why they didn't or couldn't. I don't know. Sometimes I get a little confused with these cruise lines. All right, so I talked about a couple of days ago about Explorer 2 doing its christening thing. Well, it seems while the christening was going on, an unidentified couple sailing on Explorer 2's maiden voyage may have just taken the cake for outlandish balcony behavior. During the new luxury vessel's christening ceremony, I was in Rome, the fully nude couple could be seen cavorting around, becoming rather intimate. And the incident was caught on camera while the christening was going on. The risque guests didn't know or didn't care that onlookers were watching, perhaps not realizing that the barrier on their balcony was transparent. So, a little sex for a christening. And maybe that's a new thing. I don't know. So, all right. So, what's next here? We got another story here this morning somewhere. What did I miss? Oh, it must have eaten the picture for that story. Let's go back here, see if we can do it without it. All right. This is a really sad story. A pregnant mother and her husband from Washington State drowned while snorkeling on their vacation in Hawaii. The GoFundMe page identified the couple as Ilya and Sophia Zarek. According to the Maui County Fire Department, Ilya Zarek was 25 years old. Sophia Zarek was 26, and she was pregnant. Firefighters said that they responded to a call for snorkelers in distress Saturday afternoon, along with the north side of the Aihe Canal Natural Area Reserve on the island of Maui. First responders said they pulled two people from the water, and both were unresponsive. Both were wearing the full face masks that have been outlawed in a lot of places. Firefighters performed CPR, but sadly, neither the husband nor the wife could be saved. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. According to the GoFundMe page, Sophia Zarek was pregnant with the couple's second child, a baby girl. They left behind an 18-month-old baby at home. So, sad story. Probably brought on because of that full face mask that's caused problems elsewhere. All right, that's actually going to end the news portions of today's show. So let's see here. I do need to stick in another commercial break here. Where am I going with this? I can go right here, and I can slide right down here, and I can go plink. We just had a substantial price drop on the cruise with Chillie Miami to Southampton cruise on the Norwegian Bliss, which sails January 4th, 2025. Transatlantic for 13 nights. The current pricing as of today, studio cabins for solos start at $834.10. Inside cabins for double occupancy start at $934.10 per person. Those includes taxes and port charges. This is a 13-night transatlantic cruise with stops in Ponta Delgado, Lisbon, Vigo, and Le Havre before arriving in Southampton on the 17th of January. Join us on the Bliss Transatlantic, cruising from Miami. Call me, 434-258-9264. See ya on the Bliss. Of course, we are staying at the Intercontinental Hotel here in Boston, which one of the benefits Hot Air Tom gets for, I don't know, he's an ambassador or whatever the hell he is. I don't know. Some bigwig. We get free breakfast. It's a buffet breakfast, but it's a nice buffet breakfast. So we went down this morning and had a nice breakfast. They have an omelet station, so tomorrow I'm probably going to do an omelet, which I haven't had an omelet for a while. But anyway, it's really nice, lovely hotel. Of course, yeah, these are all nice. So I feel very honored to be here with Hot Air Tom. Sorry I missed the 2 cruises. Sounds like he and Ken had a great time. Kenneth is back home in Pennsylvania. All right, so that's going to end the news portion of today's show. So let's go see who is in the chat room today for this unexpected, unscheduled, didn't have any idea I was going to do it show today. Katie's with us. Mike's here from the other side of the pond. There's Kenneth. Speaking of Kenneth, Joanne's with us. Roger down in Jacksonville. Travel companion enjoyed the first cruise of any kind. Very nice, Roger. Katie says, good morning to Roger. Hope you're well. Joanne says, we picked up the cruise crud from Symphony of the Seas. Mom worse than me. Getting started on antibiotics, etc. today. Well, my problem I've pretty much figured out wasn't from the cruise I was on. It was from the airplane that I was on. That's where I noticed that there were people hacking and coughing around me, and then I come down with the pneumonia. And I've had pneumonia vaccines regularly. That's when you do, I think, every other year. So I was really surprised to end up with pneumonia. And just like the COVID, I do a COVID booster every time it's available. And I've had COVID before. But if I get a minor case, then it's worth me getting stuck in the arm. Now, this wasn't any minor case with the double pneumonia. And of course, my situation with the COPD and, all my breathing issues, it just exacerbated and made it worse. I'm struggling to breathe. I've got my oxygen right here in my hand. But yeah, it's just I have that feeling that I'm just not getting enough air. I didn't do but one breathing treatment yesterday. So that's eliminated a lot of the cough, but it doesn't help the breathing. So feel better soon, Katie said. Joanne says, thanks. There were 2,200 kids on board. Wow. I heard a lot of COVID. Other respiratory illnesses even hand, foot, and mouth. Wow. All right, lots of kids, Katie says. Princess saw NCL getting more for water and decided to raise the water price. Yeah, but that's ridiculous. From $7 to $24? I mean, that's 3.5 times the price. Katie says, I do love Symphony. I love Symphony too. Symphony was one of my, probably top 5 ships. That's the only ship I've ever been on that I stayed in a suite, which is a whole nother story. But anyway, I like Symphony a lot. There's Steve with us out in Kentucky. Good morning, Steve. Hot Air says NCL is roughly $50 for 48 and a half liter cans. Not real bad at about $1 per can, but the lower option for less cans is much more per can. Okay, I see them. Yeah. They have moved to a screw top can and the water is much better. The flow water was nasty. Yeah, I bet it was. Anyone up on world tensions in the Philippines? I saw some posts that China and Manila have some issues. Maybe that's what caused the change of plans on that ship. Tom is in Chillie's studio. I'm not in the studio. I'm sitting in the hotel room. The Hot Air Tom is sitting, let's see, right there. He's sitting right here at his desk. Oops. See, that would be, where are you? There's Hot Air Tom. He's sitting there working. Sitting at the desk to his right. Katie says, are you making a camera appearance? Yes, he's making a camera appearance, and the broadcasting union will make me pay him for being on the show. No, I'm just, yeah. I have headphones on, and it's like a delayed echo with the delay from his live speech and then YouTube. Yeah, I bet. Katie says, I guess M slept in. It's not surprising. She'll wake up and say, oh, did he do a show today? Katie, did you see how there Tom moved the printer earlier in the video? It was originally in the corner behind his shoulder. I slid it away. Funny to see the delay move. Yeah. I noticed that you were moving something around, but I was trying not to pay any attention to you. Katie said she didn't catch that. Did Chillie like your kilt? Tom came to the train station in the kilt. He met me kilted. Kilted? I did ask him what he wore under the kilt. I asked him that before. And it's not what you think, girl. So don't get your things in a knot. He has is perfectly legitimate under there. That's on a pair of shorts, not undershorts, a pair of shorts. Kenneth says, boy, that's a very sad story. Yeah, about the couple. It is. I did have a guy in a Tesla stop while I was walking to the station. And he opened the door and said, nice dress. Surprised he didn't try to pick you up. Oh, well, that's good. Was that a pickup that went over my head? Oh, see there? My mind, Tom's running the same perverted ways. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for today, folks. Glad I had a makeup show. Now I'm going to try to process it. This could be challenging with all the technical issues I've had this morning to see if I actually get this thing up in the podcast network. But we're going to attempt it. And then we're going to attempt going on a lovely dinner cruise tonight and hope the weather goes away. I was just on the TV over here is the Weather Channel, and it's showing the storm moving in, from out across the seas coming into Massachusetts and going to start banging. So hopefully we'll get this done maybe before it gets here or after it gets here. Who knows? We need to start a fun Chillie for a new computer. Yeah, we really thought this morning that my computer was dead, and then all of a sudden it says, oh, we're supposed to wake up now, I guess. So it seems fine. All right. We were up at 2:30 a.m. and the computer was not booting. Yeah. I crashed last night when we got back to the hotel. We grabbed, Tom had gotten some pizza at the train station that was delicious. So he said, you want a couple pieces of pizza? It's really good. I said, yeah, I'm hungry. So I got a couple pieces of pizza, and it was outstanding. It really was good. So we made our way back to the hotel, which is a couple, 3 blocks or something. It was not a bad roll. A little nippy because it's windy. But got back to the hotel, and I didn't last. I was so tired, I didn't even get my meds out of my bag. So I was just totally off kilter. So yeah, I got up at 2:30, and I guess Hot Air, I crashed, and he just went on and went to bed. So we've been up since 2:30 this morning. I had another instance where I had to lay down and take a nap. So, well, we'll see. I'm still trying to get my feet back from the pneumonia business. All right, that's going to wrap it up. We'll keep you posted on how things go tonight and everything that we do up here. So just watch out for us, and who knows when I'll go, I'll go live anytime anymore. So We'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's it for today. You guys have a great weekend. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. And hopefully one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day and a great weekend, everybody. And I'll see you today, tomorrow, Monday, who knows? Thanks for being here, guys. See you next time.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.